friends.
Howdy.
Welcome to Checkup with me, Amanda Rigby.
Checking up with Amanda Rigby.
Hello.
That sounds pretty good. It's a pretty good name. Whether or not that sticks, who knows?
I don't think it'll be the main title, but maybe little frequent checkups.
Sure. So, for those who don't know who I am, my name is Sam Brown. I'm Amanda's not as better half. There's better half, and then there's the not so better half.
You're the cuter half.
Yeah, the cuter half.
Oh no, I'm stronger. Never mind.
That's fair.
Yep. We're just here enjoying the sun.
Yep. And what we wanted to do here is to give you a little bit of a breakdown of what's been going on. I know Amanda has been off the grid a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been doing?
Well, I just moved. No.
No, well, I mean, part of that process is you moved back.
I moved back from rural North Carolina.
And that was your internship. You completed that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, that was quite a thing. So not being paid for a year was an interesting learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
So here I am.
So you moved back
in the comfort of my small state of Rhode Island.
Yep, you got it. And what else?
Then from there I just had to study for my boards so I could finish this road to RD, we've been calling it, for the past 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just passed my boards a couple weeks ago and really was just kind of taking some time to learn what it's like to not carry a book around, to not have a looming life-altering test hanging over my head.
Sure.
So I've just kind of been doing everything and nothing at the same time, it feels like.
Perfect. So now that you've passed, now that you're officially an RD,
so crazy.
How does it feel?
So crazy. I don't feel
Has it
real
hit you?
yet.
Has it hit you yet?
No, I think maybe once I start seeing my own patients.
Right.
Yeah, no. All I've known is, like I said, like always studying to be it. So
Sure.
Life on the other side is different.
So
it's exciting.
Now that you're an RD, what is the next step?
Well, I would like to work on a nice website and keep working on my blog and posting good recipes and helpful tips for everyone out there who's been following me for the past couple of years on this journey of mine. And I think I want to kind of build more of a voice for people to listen to, whether it's in like video form or podcast form.
Mm-hmm.
It's 21st century way of learning.
That's it.
Yeah, as I continue to keep learning, because this lifelong journey of learning is never ending.
Right.
I'll just kind of share what I'm learning in a practical, realistic way of adapting it for people.
Oh, and by the way, if you hear any wind, we are currently in the backyard enjoying a little bit of sun this afternoon.
It's finally not raining.
So if you hear any wild animals or wind, yeah, just gonna have to deal with it.
Enjoy the sounds of nature. This
That's
could be
it.
like, we could turn this into a meditative pose.
Yeah, I could. It's like an asthma.
Breathe in.
I could just like whisper in their ears on one side and then the other.
Follow along to the sound of my voice.
So, have you started working on any projects? Started working on any of these things that you were? I know you always have some sort of, written piece locked and loaded to unleash on these people. But I don't know if you had any working, you started or what.
How hard is it? I didn't realize to come up with a name. Oh my goodness, that was getting me so stuck.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so what do I call myself? Or like, what do people refer to me as? Like, I want to be like one of those household names. Like, oh, well, blank blank said.
Like Clorox.
No. No. Like people that other people look to for advice or information. I would like to be one of those names, but it's kind of hard to think of something catchy and cute, and also align with not necessarily one thing in particular, because I don't know. I don't want to just be associated with food, I think, because I think health is a multifaceted approach.
Agreed.
And of course, while studying functional medicine, I'm learning a lot of other practices, mindfulness and spirituality, as well as what you eat and what you do on a day-to-day basis. So it was hard to kind of like pinpoint one name to kind of encompass an overall healthy mind, healthy body, healthy attitude, lifestyle that I'm trying to build a brand around, I guess.
All right, so
you can't get past figuring out a name, but yeah, ideally I just want to create a voice that people can easily understand and kind of take some of that hard stuff or even a lot of the myths or the headlines and kind of translate them into things that the everyday person can not only understand but apply to their everyday life without making huge changes.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm working on, trying to figure out which platform is best, and at the same time it's kind of maybe counterproductive, trying to enjoy the moment that I'm in. Now
passing that test was a real bear.
Now without having all of these things looming over my head and not studying every 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's less about what you have to do versus what you want to do.
Right. So I'm just trying to like enjoy life and learn how to relax, because I haven't done that ever. So there's like this inner battle I have every day between like, okay, I have a couple minutes. Do I just want to like read? Or I should work on my website and I should be posting on all of these social medias, and then I get sucked into social media and I get annoyed, so I want to go away from it. But it's like, I'm trying to build this brand. How do I stay in front of people but not be on my phone all the time?
Sure.
You know?
You also might hear yelling children.
Yes. Yeah, so it's this, for now, these past couple weeks of passing and trying to like accept that and accept my new role as a health professional, and just trying to build, like I said, that kind of presence, which kind of platform I want to use, and what I really want to say. So just kind of have a lot of things like in the background that are coming to fruition, so that they can come in a pretty form.
Sure.
When I'm ready.
Right. Okay. So where can people, if obviously this will be probably all over your social media and whatnot, you'll probably post this today or tomorrow, who knows? Where can people find you or reach out to you or whatnot?
Well, you can find me on Facebook under my name is Amanda Rigby, and I'm probably gonna have a separate Facebook page for more specific, health related posts. I don't want to bother my Facebook friends if they don't want it, so I'll probably make a voluntary like if you want to page.
Sure. What's that going to be called?
Hey, the $1 million question.
Well, you have some ideas.
I do.
We're not going to announce that yet. Are you going to announce it all at once? Or
right,
what is
maybe
your plan?
when it's finally finished.
Sure.
So, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, stay tuned.
But yeah, on Instagram, I do have an account called The Functional RD.
That's a good name.
Thanks. So you can follow that account or my regular one at Amanda Rigby. Same for Twitter. I don't tweet anymore.
Yeah, Twitter's kind of... I was never really a big part of Twitter. Ever. Seems over... no, it's not my personal cup of tea.
Yeah, you gotta have a lot of, maybe, I don't know. I was gonna say you have to have a lot of thoughts. Maybe thoughts that you're willing to share every 5 seconds.
Yep.
140 characters or less.
So now that you kind of gave an update of what you've been doing, where you've been, what you've, kind of been up to, what you've been working on. What, besides that, I mean, we got that out of the way. That was point number 1 that we just cleared off the table. We got to talk about this documentary that we just started watching.
Oh no.
I have to. This is
I
the
haven't
most
finished
ridiculous
it yet.
damn documentary I've ever seen.
Yes.
So, and I actually feel bad even talking about it because I don't want people to watch it. It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. It's like, okay, for those who don't know, the documentary is called What is Health?
Mm-hmm.
And if you have any thoughts in your head, you will get upset watching this.
It's pretty...
I'm probably taking a more aggressive stance.
It's a shockumentary.
Yeah.
They're definitely trying to scare people.
It's a crapumentary.
Yeah. They're trying to scare people into one way.
So do you want me to explain what it is? Or do you
watched a lot of it. I fell asleep.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you fell asleep. So essentially it's a documentary trying to say that fats and meat kill you and that sugar doesn't have anything to do with diabetes. Right?
Or poor health.
Poor health. Right. They're like, there is no connection to sugar with diabetes.
Yeah.
And eating one egg is the equivalent of smoking 5 cigarettes.
Yeah, it was very
like, I'm not a health professional in the slightest, but I know that's not right.
That's good. I'm glad. Because I do feel bad for the poor people of Netflix who may be afraid of when they watch that documentary, which is an everyday problem that I'll face for the rest of my life with these things coming up every couple months. But
I think just letting people know that just because it's on Netflix doesn't mean it's right.
Right.
I mean, I was watching zombie movies the other day. I wasn't convinced that there was a zombie island.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
You were talking a little crazy.
Maybe.
I know. It's hard. It's a hard time to be in. It's an easily accessible information world that we live in.
Well,
and you can, like I always say to you, you can find an argument for whatever side you want it to tell you.
Sure. Like, what were we talking about the other day? I forgot what we were having an argument.
Anything.
It was something.
You can find anyone to be on your side if you Google it.
Thanks, Google.
Enough so to convince you, that one way is the right way. And that the hard thing with nutrition is that it's not black and white, and we don't have all the answers, and it is constantly changing. Our food is constantly changing, and there's just simply not enough studies done on each myth enough to give us a final answer.
Right, and there's never going to be a final answer.
That's why it's hard to, like, not even pick a side, but debunk a lot of them.
Right.
Because, like I said, you could dig up anything to support whatever you wanted it to say. But yeah.
So what would you tell somebody that saw that documentary and then may have read that? What is that fat book you read? That we're reading?
Eat Fat Get Thin.
Eat Fat Get Thin.
They'd be very confused.
Well, right, exactly. Like so they read that book and then they see this documentary where they're like, oh yeah, yeah, meat kills you.
Right.
Like, have fun with that hot dog because you just shaved off 6 years of your life.
Well, I guess it depends on what kind of meat we're talking about, if we're going to fight about meat, but...
I guess my point is there any basic rules to living a healthy life that people, like, regardless of what your argument is,
I mean,
what would you say? Do like 5.
Yeah, no, like, things like this really make it hard to just keep it simple when that's kind of what it is. Like, you know this from going through your own weight loss journey. It's not as hard as people are making it out to be.
Yeah, and people make it more complicated than it should
and, like,
be.
You don't need to be a scientist. You don't need to be a biochemist. Have a colorful plate. Eat mostly things that come from the ground.
Yep.
Wash your vegetables and your fruit.
Yep.
And keep your protein sources lean and mean. And just have some sort of protein and fiber at every meal.
And healthy fats, too.
Oh, healthy fats. That's my favorite topic. I wouldn't demonize any one food, whether it be carbs or fat or protein. Like,
You can anybody like, and this is something that I've told my clients in the past, is like, you can eat salads all day, but if you're eating too much salad, you gain weight. Like
Right.
it's really
Too much of anything.
too much
is
of anything.
Too much.
Exactly.
So to keep it as simple as we can without sounding like we're taking the easy way out, because nowadays everyone's like, yeah, but what about
It's like, are carbs
like,
bad?
this
Is fat
vitamin,
bad?
or what about this, whatever? Like, they know too much about nothing, so they're confusing themselves. And it's
Sure.
like, if your plate is colorful, if half of it is fruits and vegetables, like your piece of steak doesn't take up the entire plate, and you have like one little string of asparagus or something, just balance things out. You're allowed to have ice cream in the summer when you're sweating. It's the best.
Yeah, and
yeah, it's just-
that thing, remember I showed you from Trevor Cashy, and it was like, people know how they should be eating.
Of course. I
unless
think
your
everyone knows this.
your toenails are falling off and you're losing limbs, like you've made it this far.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of know what
Yes,
you're
and
doing.
of course, there's optimal health, and if you want a more functional approach to life, that's where we can talk a little bit more personally. But general health, like I said, color, variety, seasonal, wash your stuff,
Color, variety, seasonal, wash your stuff. Give me one more. Because I'm going to write this in the notes.
Healthy fats.
Healthy fats.
Yes,
And healthy fats, olive oils.
Olive oil,
Avocado oil.
Yep, coconut oil. Check my Function or Fiction
There you go.
episode. I don't know the number for the debunking of is coconut oil
We'll
going
put the
to
link.
kill us?
We'll put the link down below.
Nuts and seeds, ghee, and some grass-fed butter.
Oh, also, throw in the fact that olive oil, just don't cook with it. Just put it on food after.
Yes, good point.
See that?
You're learning.
I do. I know stuff.
What should we cook with? What oil should we cook with?
Avocado oil, because it has a higher smoke point.
Nice job.
See that?
What a good student.
So, essentially, if the fat is in a solid form, you can cook with it.
It's better.
It's better to cook with.
Yep.
Avocado oil is different because it's not in a solid form, but it just has a higher smoke point. But
Yeah.
again, I think we're jumping too far into that as well.
Keep it simple, people.
Keep it simple. Healthy fats.
Healthy fats.
And if you're going to use olive oil, what my favorite thing to do is just kind of sprinkle it over your food when it's done cooking. Like, just really super easy. I tend to make my own like vinaigrettes and stuff using
Yep.
healthy fats in order to make sure I get them.
Right.
And those are and if I'm like a dumb jock, if I can make a vinaigrette, anybody can make a vinaigrette. Like, what the hell? So yeah, that's. I just had to bring that It was the most ridiculous documentary I've ever seen.
I'm glad you felt that way.
It was bizarre, and you did fall asleep, and I was kind of, gentlemen, you'll know what I'm talking about here. You don't want to wake them up, but you want to wake them up, so it's like a lose-lose. They'll be mad if you didn't wake them up, but then
Right.
they'll be mad that you
I was
woke
like,
them
you
up.
watched that without me? I've been dying to see it. Everyone's talking about it right now. And
Right.
he's like, I was freaking out.
I was
And I'm
like,
like, oh my God, you didn't wake me?
I was like, I don't know if I was going to. I didn't know if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, besides that, I just had to. I was twitching out watching that thing. It was terrible. It was really bad, and I'm glad that you were able to clarify some of the stuff. And simple works. Simple is people tend to overcomplicate things and
Yeah.
whatnot. But
And like I said, nowadays with our availability of quote unquote information, take it with a grain of salt.
and the
just-
availability to put your own information.
Yes, see who wrote it, see who funds it. There's a lot of money and politics behind a lot of the information that's out there.
Absolutely.
So it's tough. It's tough to be an American right now.
Yeah, I mean it's
Proud, but it's tough.
Like there are also, I mean, not just to play devil's advocates, there's people that were like, carbs are the devil. Like there are people that say fats are like there are people on either end.
Like I said.
And now there's people that say protein is the devil. So I'm really confused.
I'm sure. I am sure.
as like a more of a bro than you are, my my plate is usually.
I can hang up my bro hat now.
Yeah, you can.
I passed my test.
You did. But yeah, it's just the protein intake and finding the right amount of fats. Essentially, all you got to do is find out if you're trying to lose weight, find your caloric needs, and just stick to consistency trumps everything. You would say,
yeah.
Right?
We can make a couple little excerpts on each topic of macronutrient to help everybody more specifically, but yeah, just for this, keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Enjoy life.
So there you go, just a little
bit
of
checkup.
Just a little checkup. And give you the 5 basic things to remember about food. Just trying to eat healthier. Just remember these 5 things. I will write them down below, or Amanda will write them down below. Whoever is gonna be editing this.
Oh no.
Probably me. So you'll see
the big bucks.
That's it. You'll see the show notes, pretty much kind of touching base on all the main things with you know what we're gonna do on this one? We're gonna add little timestamps so people can click.
I like it. That's
And,
very helpful.
Yeah, so they can hear. So I just gave myself more homework. All right.
Perfect.
But Amanda, anything else before we wrap this up?
Enjoy the sun.
Enjoy the sun, people. This was your checkup with Amanda. And we're off to enjoy some lemonade in the sun.
Some vitamin D.
Some vitamin D. We're doing it. All right, guys. We will see you in the next one.
Take care.
Bye.